The alien sky was never meant to look like this. Commander Terex stared through the bridge window of the Xylan dreadnought as the warning sirens shrieked across the fleet. The blue-green expanse of the planet below shimmered with cold lightning. Orbiting in the darkness above, 1,000 alien warships hovered in perfect formation, engines humming with silent power. Yet none of that mattered anymore. Every mind aboard every ship felt the same electric terror. The alert echoed across comms, translated into every language. Red alert. Human warship detected their coming. Stand ready. On every ship, aliens froze. Stories about humans had always been just that, stories. Shadows whispered in fleet halls. Old legends about unstoppable warriors from a dying world. Terex's own father had laughed at such tales. Now no one laughed. All sensors pointed to one impossibility: a human warship deep within Xylan territory, impossibly alone. On Terex's bridge, the first officer's voice trembled. "Commander, it's real. Ship designation: Leviathan, human. It's coming straight. For us, no escorts, no warning. Just..." The tactical display lit up. One red dot, pulsing against a sea of blue. Terex forced herself to breathe. She remembered her training. Xylan command was ruthless, proud, unbeaten in 100 wars. But this was different. Raise shields. Power the main guns. Lock every targeting array, she ordered, voice cold, betraying nothing. Should we hail them? Terex shook her head. Humans don't answer, not unless they want to. As the Leviathan drew closer, a strange static crept into their comms, a low thrum that set teeth on edge. Every eye aboard every ship was glued to that single point on the screen. "It's not slowing down, Commander." Terex stared at the silhouette, huge, angular, a blade of metal in the void. No other ships dared move. "Ready, all hands," she whispered. "For the first time, we fight a legend." Far below, civilians scrambled into bunkers, children clinging to parents, all eyes skyward. Across the galaxy, old veterans shivered. Red alert, human warship detected. And as the Leviathan pierced the blockade, a single message echoed through the Xylan fleet, cold and final: "Stand ready." Every ship in the Xylan armada locked weapons. 1,000 captains stared at their monitors, breathless, as the Leviathan's engines pulsed with impossible energy. Its hull bristled with scars, old wounds from ancient wars. Yet nothing about it looked weak. "Enemy range in 10 seconds, the tactical officer whispered. Terex watched, her taloned hand clenched tight. The war room was silent except for the throb of distant alarms. Suddenly, the Leviathan's lights flickered. Every system seemed to surge with power. Without warning, it opened a channel not with words, but with an image. A single human figure, shrouded in shadows, staring straight into every captain's eyes. No one spoke. No one moved. A cold dread gripped Terex's heart. She recognized the human face from the legends, the captain who never surrendered, who fought at the edge of the dying stars. The channel snapped off. "Fire!" someone screamed. Beams of energy lanced out, hundreds at once, all converging on the human warship. The Leviathan shimmered, absorbing the full force. The energy rippled across its shields, bending physics itself. No damage. The weapons officer choked. The Leviathan responded. It didn't fire back. Instead, it powered forward, silent. Engines roaring, tearing through the blockade as if the Xylan ships were mere mist. One by one, Xylan vessels broke formation, panic rippling through the fleet. The Leviathan ignored them, unstoppable, moving with grim, relentless purpose. On the ground, the world watched as legends became reality. Terex tried to rally her officers. "We are the Xylan. We do not run. Target their engines. Ram if you must," But already, the Leviathan was splitting the fleet, moving straight for the flagship Dasher's dot in those seconds. As the impossible became real, Terex finally understood the terror that had haunted every enemy who faced the humans. It wasn't their strength. It was their resolve. The Leviathan came, and no one could stop it. Panic spread. Ships collided as they tried to flee. Orders echoed, desperate and broken, through every frequency. Still, the Leviathan pressed on, no hesitation, no fear. Terex's flagship stood alone as the human warship approached. "Last chance to surrender," someone said. Terex shook her head, eyes never leaving the screen. Humans don't want surrender. They want an answer. The Leviathan's hull opened one bay, a void of darkness. Drones poured out, sleek and silent, slipping past shields like ghosts. "They're inside our systems," an officer shouted. Every monitor flickered, security feeds went black. The Leviathan was hacking their network, disabling weapons, locking down engines. On every ship, systems froze. Gravity failed. Air flickered cold. Then a human voice echoed through every speaker. Calm, steady, unforgiving. "You threatened our world. You crossed the line. Now you face humanity." Across the bridge, crew fell silent. Even the youngest remembered the old stories, the wars that left entire star systems in ruins, the times when humans fought with fury that shook galaxies. A single transmission was broadcast. In every language, "Stand ready. This is your final warning." Terex looked around, her officers trembling, her crew defeated, but she refused to bow. "If this is our end, then we end it standing," she said. And as the Leviathan hovered above, its shadow engulfing the flagship, Terex prepared to make her last stand. But the human warship paused. For a moment, the galaxy held its breath. The Leviathan hung in silence, scanning the silent flagship. Its guns charged but did not fire. Instead, a new transmission appeared this time, a series of images, ruined cities, burning worlds, the aftermath of human wars. A single phrase echoed in Terex's mind. "This is what happens when you threaten Earth." Terex's resolve began to crack. She realized the Leviathan was not here to destroy, but to warn. Still, her fleet was paralyzed. Across the Xylan world, military command argued. Some wanted to surrender, others to attack. But no one dared move. Suddenly, the Leviathan shifted. Its cannons targeted the planet's defense grid, not to destroy it, but to disable it with pinpoint accuracy. One by one, the guns exploded in silent fire, leaving the world defenseless but unharmed. The message was clear. Humans could destroy them, but they chose not to. On the bridge, Terex felt something she'd never known: a grudging respect. A second human transmission, cold and unyielding. "Leave Earth. Never return. There will be no second warning." And then the Leviathan powered up, preparing to jump away. But as it did, the sensors spiked. Another fleet had arrived. Not Xylan, not human. Something else, lurking at the edge of the system. Chaos erupted as the new fleet appeared. Virat vessels, scavengers, old enemies waiting for a chance to strike. Terex realized the humans' warning was not just for the Xylan, but for anyone who dared threaten peace. The pirates opened fire on both Xylan and human ships. For a brief moment, everyone became prey. The Leviathan spun around, shields flaring, engines burning white-hot. This time, it unleashed its true power, a barrage of energy so pure it blinded sensors, shattering pirate ships in an instant. Terex watched in awe as the human warship protected both its own and its former enemies. "Why are they saving us?" an officer whispered. Terex understood. Because that's what humans do. The pirates, realizing their mistake, tried to flee, but the Leviathan hunted them, precise and merciless, until only silence remained. Now, as smoke cleared, the human ship turned once more to the Xylan fleet. The message was simple. Remember what you saw today. And with that, the Leviathan powered down its guns and turned toward deep space. After the battle, the Xylan fleet drifted in stunned silence. Terex, still alive, received a final transmission. From the human captain this time, in her own language. You stood your ground. Remember, not all legends are lies, but some are warnings. Word of the human warship's arrival spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, enemies and allies alike watched the footage. For the first time in centuries, the Xylan felt fear, but also hope. Back on Earth, the Leviathans. Captain removed his helmet. He looked tired, but proud. Mission complete, but the message clear. Humanity would never allow terror to reign. Terex gathered her crew, determined never to forget what she had seen. She spoke to them, voice trembling, but proud. Today, we faced the impossible. We learned that legends can be real, but we also learned mercy. The Xylan began to rebuild, changed by the day humanity arrived at their doorstep, not as conquerors, but as guardians. The galaxy was never the same. Stories of the Leviathan echoed in every port, every world. Enemies reconsidered old plans. Allies sent envoys, hoping to understand the humans better. Terex, now promoted for her courage, led new peace talks. She remembered the humans' final words, letting them guide her. Stand ready, not for war, but for peace. The legend of the Leviathan grew no longer a tale of fear, but of hope, of warning, and of respect. And somewhere, in the cold dark beyond the stars, a human warship vanished, waiting, watching, ready to return should any threat arise. For in a galaxy full of danger, one truth remained. Whenever the shadows grew too dark, whenever evil threatened the innocent, a single human ship would answer the call, and the universe would remember what it meant to stand ready. Asterisk.